So the new Ski Doo is in, the turbo. This is the MXZ 850 turbo. This is the first time I'm gonna have eyes on this and take you guys on a little walk around and yeah, just let everybody see this. So thanks for joining me. So this was VIN 662, you said?
672.
672.
Out of a little less than 1,000.
Wow. Wow, this is awesome.
It's the only way you can get an 850 turbo in a trail chassis this year. It's outfitted exactly like this. 1.25" ripsaw track. KYB 440s, Kashima coated, all the way around. Reinforced rails, reinforced tunnel. The only alteration you can get to this chassis is you can get it with a 600.
And what? Everything's identical. Obviously, no turbo, but
Yep, everything else is identical. Just the
shock
600
package.
Yep.
The 600 is not going to have the shot start.
No, that should have the electric start.
Okay.
Which is kind of the interesting thing that'll be new this year, obviously for me, because I've never had shot start before. But
oh, that sounds awesome.
you're used to having your battery sit here.
Yeah.
And there actually is still a little battery that's in here.
So the capacitor's in there.
Yep. To run, well, the small battery.
Are you sure it's here, or is it up there?
The small battery is actually under here.
Okay.
And then capacitor is under the hood, from what I
Okay.
understand. So yeah, it'll be a little bit different. First time having a pull cord on a sled for a couple of years.
Yeah, I would. I've never pull started an 850. My 800 E-Tech had a, so I'd like to actually try to pull on that.
Yeah.
In the cold.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember.
When it's 20 below, it might be a tough pull.
Remember on my P-Tech, my battery was dead at minus 26 in the UP, and about threw my shoulder out on my P-Tech. Oh yeah, this thing's awesome. I like the way this looks.
From what I've read and seen online, the motor for the most part is really similar, the same actually from the mountain models. Obviously mapping, clutching, everything's going to be different. And of course, the trail model is what gets the juice injection. Anywhere from 4 to 12 seconds of wide open throttle, it'll start injecting that to keep temps down so you don't lose any horsepower.
So the injection does not start until 4 to
Somewhere
12
in there.
seconds.
Wherever that air temp starts climbing up and you start to lose horsepower, it'll start to inject.
How many? How big is this container actually?
Yeah, I think so. It's
Okay, you
not
got it
that
filled.
big. Video watched last night. They said, you might fill it up 5 times over the course of the season for an average trail rider.
I wish they had a little fail-safe little.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the lawnmower stuff.
No, that's a good idea. They
Yeah,
should do
on that.
Someone's gonna lose their cat.
That would be a bummer. At least it's not an oil cap. At least they'll run without it.
Different on this chassis. 2 different things on the brake side is they have adjustable brakes this year, which is really nice. So you can take your brake handle in and out wherever you want it to be, which is really nice.
That's pretty cool.
And
That's really cool.
the brakes on the competition chassis are 4-piston Brembo brakes. And I never had a complaint with the brakes on a Ski Doo. I always thought they performed really well.
Yeah, me too.
So to go from a 2-piston to a 4-piston, they said takes very, very little effort. And there's a lot of feel in the brake. So I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Got the big gauge.
Have to have a big gauge, and that is the only way it came, was with the big gauge.
So is this here a heated?
Yep. Heated
Okay.
foam. Early indications in the year, they initially said that they were going to have the maps loaded on the display. Unfortunately, that fell through, so we're still
Well,
having to connect.
Okay. Cooper told me that until December, like he gave him a date that the maps aren't going to be up till December, like middle of.
Oh, that might be, yeah.
It's like a contracting or something like that the maps will auto update or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, the nice
So-
thing is it's on the Wi-Fi in the home. So as soon as I pull it into the garage, if there's any updates that are going to get pushed, it'll be
But it has to be running though.
I think it's got to be running, but once you
Yeah.
have your Wi-Fi network done, you're good to go that way.
So is this was not an accessory? This was standard.
That's standard. Yep.
Okay. Well, that's a really nice little perk.
They do a really good job, and when the phone comes out, it's nice and warm.
Is that just kind of a shock absorber
Yep.
for the?
Moves a little bit, but not nearly as much as the Gen 4. That was one of the big things I noticed between Gen 4 and Gen 5 was vibration.
I need to tighten mine up. I noticed that
Yeah.
it idle, it vibrates, makes a lot of noise.
I think the Gen 5 chat, if you stuck a Gen 4 to a Gen 5 side by side, I think the Gen 5 will outrun the Gen 4. I think you lose less power through the drivetrain with that additional motor mount. At least last year, it felt like my 23 was faster.
Well, it's probably a little more aerodynamic.
If you keep your head below that so-called windshield.
Yeah. Well, I know on my Enduro chassis, it's wide for a 4-stroke, even though I got the 850.
So there's not much that they let you see because it's all covered up with heat shroud, but turbo actually sits right inside here.
Yeah, I can see it there. Huh. Oh, I can't wait to hear that. Interesting.
Now the trail turbo, you really don't hear, go off at all. And they say that the power is extremely linear. There is no, feel when the turbo kicks in or anything else. They just said that it's extremely.
Is there
it
a
just
gauge
pulls.
that actually shows that boost is happening or not?
Yeah. So when you're on the launch control, there is a dial gauge that comes up in the middle of the screen that tells you what percentage of boost you're at. It doesn't tell you the pounds, it'll tell you a percentage of what boost you're at.
Okay.
Full capacity.
Well, that's pretty cool. At least you know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure then, does the, what is this liquid called?
So this is BRP's ice.
The ice. So is there a level gauge or a indicator on how full or empty that
I
is?
haven't looked yet.
Hmm.
I haven't looked. I'm hoping so. So the nice thing is though, is if you were to run out of the blend, you still have 180 horse. It's just when the snowmobile needs that additional juice to cool it, it drops back to the normal, 165 or whatever the normal horsepower would be of.
So you would potentially have the 4 to
Yes.
12 seconds, and then
Yep.
so it's my understanding there is no intercooler.
None. No. This
Okay.
is what basically takes the place of an intercooler, and is what keeps the weight savings achieved.
Yep.
So the weight of this compared to a Renegade 850 137 last year weighs approximately the same.
Yeah, no battery, no starter,
Yep.
saving a lot of weight there. So the Polaris Boost have an intercooler? It must. I don't know. No, that one doesn't either.
No.
So that just has, that's gonna have power loss right away.
You want to crank it?
Yeah, I'll pull on this. Let's see how much throws my shoulder out.
Might need the chiropractor when you're done.
That's not too bad. But when it's like 10 degrees out, is this also touchpad?
It is all touchscreen, yeah. Yeah, honestly, it showed up yesterday, and I haven't even gone into the display. I haven't looked at my phone. I started it for about 20 seconds, and that's about it. I know engagement is higher than I'm used to.
Wow.
So about 4,500, and then she starts to grab.
Yeah. Okay. Navigation. What
So that is new. I'm not used to having any belt.
Yeah, that's kind of cool though. 59. That's the temperature here in the garage.
Yeah, that's the ambient.
So you move the tack over.
Alright. Need to get reacquainted. plug my phone in for it. But so the nice thing that I like is once you do have your navigation up, this is your whole entire navigation screen, and then you can change your RPMs to be miles per hour in RPMs in the dial.
Yeah, that's
so normally when I'm riding in an area I'm not familiar with, this is what I'll do.
Yeah.
I really like it set up that way.
So are you pretty much out of gas?
I am out of gas.
Yeah.
Fumes.
Yeah. I won't let you run it out. That would. So now you let it run for a second. Where would be the shot start button? Right.
Yep, same place
right
as it was
same
last year.
place as the electric start. It would have enough now, do you think, to... Ah, sweet.
It's different. It's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. It didn't seem like it was weak at all, or... It's probably either has enough or it doesn't. Yeah. That's really neat.
Yeah, never done that before, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Now, the little battery in the back is what's continuing to run the electronics. And leaves everything on, which is nice. And the thing that I have to say that I really liked about the setup last year is, you pull over on the side of the trail and you're used to everything just being shut off on you, and it's dark out, so it's nighttime. You still have some of that stuff left on, which is really, really nice.
So how long is that gonna stay active, do you think?
I think there's a certain timeout after, I don't know if it's a minute or more.
Okay.
I know on the...
Did you just manually turn it off? Okay.
I went to shutdown.
Okay.
On the 23s, I know my 23 would depend on if the battery was a little low on juice, it'd shut it down a lot faster. But if it was fully charged up, it would stay on for a couple of minutes, I think. Because you can check out your map, you can see where your buddies are in BRP Go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it's gonna have to, almost everything actually has been installed. The E-Link needs to go on.
Okay.
And the E-Link I did on the 23 last year, which isn't too horrible. They've made it easier on the Gen 5 chassis to take the hood off.
Okay.
So the hood comes off, side panels come off, this cowl piece comes off, and then basically you just pop this blank out, you feed your wires underneath, and your auxiliary port is over on this side.
Okay.
Otherwise, huge shout out to not only my wife, but Timberline Sports.
Yeah.
Berglund, Michigan. Mark, his team do an amazing job. Amazing to work with. Great dealer.
So give Mark a call.
Yeah, give Mark a call. Came home to this in my garage, completely outfitted, everything installed, ready to go. Just a great guy, great power sports dealer. Can't say enough about him and thank him for it.
Yeah, you got hooked up, man. That's awesome. Yeah, the gas can, you may need that with the turbo. Gas tank's the same size as the regular.
Gas tank's the same size, but I started thinking about I've never run with a link can, but knowing that there's going to be a lot more aggressive mapping to go along with the turbo, you know, heavy thumb, I better have some extra gas because, we get around here and you can start to push it.
Yeah.
And how far are you going to go? I did get the link lock just because all this stuff's expensive. You might as well just put the
I agree.
$50 lock on it to make sure no one walks.
How many gallon is that again?
That one's a 3 gallon.
It's 3?
It's
okay.
the smallest one that I could get. The only thing that wasn't ready that we are still kind of trying to figure out is there's supposed to be a link bag. Now, I'm used to having a link bag on my Gen 4, my Gen 5.
So there is no storage back here.
There's no storage, but if you, when I built the sled on Ski Doo's website, when I ordered it, there was a bag option and a number. However, what we can't figure out is usually there is a link bracket. And so we've heard conflicting reports about that doesn't really work on this sled. So I ended up just ordering one to see if it can be fitted. Otherwise, maybe I'll just have to put a link bag on the back. I did put the radiator protector on. I did it last year. I love it. I think for the money, it's the best thing you can do to protect the top of the tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did a belly pan this year too.
So this didn't come standard, huh?
No, this I added on. I absolutely love that accessory. I put the black belly pan on the front this year. I like how it just breaks up the yellow.
Yeah, I did notice that. That is pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's pretty beefy too, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, Mark and the team took care of all of it, so didn't have to worry about drilling holes in a brand new sled. I got to put my screen protector on. BRP came out with a screen protector, which is really nice, just to protect the screen. It's a big investment, so that needs to go on. And obviously I'm not doing any mountain riding, but this is for the kiddos. When they ride with in front, they got something to hang on to, so I always put a little mountain grab bar on.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty nice. So does this seat remove the same way as, or is this
Yeah,
seat pretty
so
much on
I think you just push
and then
pull
pull
out
out
the
one
sides.
side? Okay.
Yeah.
Same. Is there a way to get a 2-up on this or no?
I don't think there is, just because of
Because of that.
this. Now,
Yeah.
I watched a video this afternoon of a guy that was studying one of these, and there's an accessory plug under here.
Okay. So it's just.
You know, I'm thinking Dan's got the Blizzard with a 2-up, and his 2-up is brackets that mount on each side of the tunnel, and then goes over this portion. So possibly,
Yeah.
actually, you can build a 2-up seat on this on BRP's website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am loving this thing. I can't wait to see it in action. We'll be smelling them and seeing them at the next stop, hopefully.
Well, we've got a 23 boost that we need to go pick on too.
Yeah, we got a 23 boost that we hopefully can get lined up on video as soon as the snow starts to fly.
Got to do the safety sticker delete mod. I recommend everyone do this for an additional 7 horse.
Well, is that going to void the warranty?
I hope so.
Yeah, and that looks much better.
Every safety sticker's got.
You know, I think I'm going to drop mine off in your garage, and you can do that to mine. I don't know how much you charge.
I gotta get some goo on, and we'll be all set. That's the first thing you gotta do with every slug. Get your safety stickers off.
Yeah, get a little goo on there. Yeah, this looks awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah. Thanks.
Beautiful machine.
Well, you'll be getting a front view operator experience before long.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
We get some snow and we get to try it out.